Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews. This is a weekly podcast, and we do upload the video version of this to our YouTube channel, so you can check us out there. My name is Matt, and as always, I'm being joined by my sister Vetta. Vetta, say hi.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. And so for this
Mm.
month, we are doing the theme of music. And so for this episode, we are going to be talking about the movie Rockstar, starring Mark Wahlberg.
Woo!
Marky Mark. Woo! That I just want you to know that I work over at that strip club, by my house and everything. But this one we wear G-strings, so the guys like really respect us, like way more.
Oh, at Chubby's?
Yeah, Chubby's. Exactly. You've been? Okay.
It's a classy joint.
Yes. All right. So before we get started, we have to ask the most important question. What are you drinking? Vetta, go.
I am drinking Fucked by a Rock Star.
Mm.
It's a Rockstar energy drink, vodka, and triple sec.
Nice. I
Right?
am drinking a good old classic of rum and coke because I got
Mm.
lazy this week. I was all like, oh, I don't want to look up a drink right now. I'm like super tired and shit all the time. So I was just like, look, rum, coke, yay.
Well, how
But
can you
it's
go wrong with that?
Yeah, it's a classic and it's delish. All right.
Exactly.
So, Betta, had you seen this movie before we reviewed it?
I had.
Yeah, me too. Had you seen it recently since we reviewed it before we reviewed it?
No, I don't think
Yeah,
I'd seen it since the first time I saw it.
right on. Yeah. So, yeah, me neither. It had been a while. But so what did you think about this movie overall before we get into our notes and stuff?
It's okay.
It's just okay.
It's just okay.
Oh, I liked it. I thought it was weird that they kept going back and forth with the documentary thing.
Yeah, I again, it's probably about 25 to 30 minutes longer than it needed to be.
You think?
Yeah,
Oh, I could have dealt with more of their shenanigans and stuff that they were getting
that's what I
into.
mean. I could have done more with the hotel behind the scenes stuff, and less of the concert things.
Oh, I love the concert stuff too. That was so much fun.
It's
Okay.
just but it was the same thing every time. It wasn't really
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, I loved
Because
it.
that's
Well,
how
we'll talk
concerts
about it.
work.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay. So I love his makeup at the beginning was super fun and everything. Um I've never worn makeup, so I don't know anything about it. Like when they're talking about like mascara and shit, I was like, "What's that? Is that the pen that you put on your eyeball or whatever?" And I'm like,
No, that's the stuff that goes on your eyelash.
"Okay, I don't need to explain. I don't. I
Well,
don't
but
care."
my thing is can I tell him the first thing is okay, look, Chris or Mark, whichever one you want to go with. You need to take your makeup
Izzy.
the night Izzy. You need to take your makeup off that night. You can't go to bed with makeup on because what happened to him at work is not the only bad thing. You get really bad bacterial acne if you don't wash your makeup off at night.
Right on. I knew
I'm
that.
very
I knew that.
disappointed.
Yeah. How did you feel about before they go, okay. How did you feel about him being like a printer fixer? Was that what he was?
Copy repairman?
Copy repairman? That's his
I
job. Is that
think
a job?
I don't know if he's like a copier company's repair guy or if he's like a maintenance person for an office building.
Mm. Yeah, I was just
I
like, that
mean,
looks,
you got to pay the bills.
I guess so, but that one's I was like, this is a shitty job right here. I was like, oh, I thought my job was bad. Okay, can we I don't really have anything to say about before they go to the concert. So if you do, I'd like to if you don't, then I'd like to skip to when they
Before
go to
he goes to
the Steel Dragon concert. The copier thing
no.
was okay. All right.
No, no.
So first off, his car is gross. Second off, he parks like an asshole, straight up.
He
Like
does. Nobody's getting in on the passenger side. They're having to Dukes a Hazard it. in and out of that
Yeah.
side.
I didn't, when he
That's just
parked, I was
rude.
like, oh, he's one of those people.
He's one of those people that you want to put the little card on with the turtle that says, hey, I see you have problems staying between the lines. Why don't you practice on this?
Yeah. I did like the concert though, the Steel Dragon concert. I liked it in terms of the crowd and everything. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that was super fun. But I also like it when he's like, this song is for Kim, and he's like, who took your heart out and put it in a blender? And I'm like, what's going on here? What's going on? Why are you doing the accent and everything? So the concert was super fun. I loved how he was all like, "Can I get one of those passes?" And he's all like, "Not unless you get something in a sex change." And I was like, "Ah." Like he told you. And those two chicks were like, "Bye, Chris." And I was like, "Yeah, they're gonna go get their brains fucked out and everything." Um,
Right.
so
Sure.
I have to tell you right now, this was my favorite scene in the movie after the concert. Did you have anything you
The
wanted to say?
fight between the tribute
The
band.
cover band fight was my favorite part. I loved when they grab it. He's like, "Let go of the cape, man. Let go of my cape. You let go of my cape." And I was like, "Oh, somebody just throw a punch." And I love how he was all like, "And can anybody honestly say that they've seen so what's his face wear a leather jacket with a red lining?" Now I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, how are you getting laid? Yeah, that was
I
my favorite
loved
part.
that.
Yeah, I
I
loved
don't
it.
understand why more people were gathered watching this in the parking lot. They had no audience. I would stop my car if I was leaving the parking lot and get out and watch.
Right, yeah. And then the next day I love how now his brother came in, and that's when we get the copier machine thing. That was after the concert and everything.
Yeah.
Because I love how the guy's all like, because as soon as he said it, I wrote it down in my notes because he's like, "Is that mascara?" And I'm like, "What the fuck is mascara?" And everything. I was like, I love how he's like, "I'm in a band." Like that explains everything, just um, and then
Well, I
I
suppose it's the 80s.
right on, which is it's cool and everything, but I'm just like, as soon as he said, I was just like, is that supposed to be an explanation for anything? Like, is that his explanation for everything? He's just like, it's like, are you wearing a G-string? I'm in a band. What? um, I also loved that he was in the church choir. Like, I loved it. How he's like, hallelujah and everything. I was like, that's nice. Daddy likes that. I love that. I just loved it how him and his girlfriend are both in the church choir. And I'm like, are they even religious? Like, what's going on
Apparently.
here? And then I loved the nipple piercing scene because I was like, this is not sanitary. You can't
No,
just go ahead.
no, she dipped it in the alcoholic drink she made.
You're
Like,
right.
that doesn't make it sanitary.
Yeah, exactly. I'm all like, just go to a Claire's or something. They can use that gun on or borrow one from your friends. I'm sure you have a friend that works at Claire's that can just pop it in there and everything. Um, yeah.
I loved his parents, how they were like huge fans. Before they had kids, they were at
Oh
every
yeah.
Kiss and Rolling Stones concert they could get to.
Yeah, no, it was great. I loved their parents too. All right, but so what did you think about their cover band concert, their little Steel Dragon cover band concert?
My favorite part was the little girly cat fight between the bass player.
I liked it too, but I love how he was just so obsessed. Like, it's like we're during it's in the middle of a concert, fuck face, and you're just ruining it by being all pissy about him doing a little wow wow. And I'm like, who cares? I love how he's all like, they don't care, they fucking love it. Ah! And I'm all like, is that what they do on stage?
Well, I was like, he thinks they're a tribute band. Everybody else thinks they're a cover band. I feel like they're both representing what they think they are. Like, I feel like if you're a cover band, you have like creative leeway. If you're a tribute band, aren't you supposed to try to be as much like the band as possible? So they weren't on the same page, but their little bickering cracked me up, and they wrecked thousands of dollars worth of equipment to prove they were right.
Oh, right on. And don't worry. because they got all of it back. We're going to talk about that in just a second. But I did love how the mom and dad were very supportive of his little cover band, because they were there and she's like, that's my baby and everything. And I did like it how they had it in like a little factory and stuff. It was super fun. And I love when Jennifer Aniston
the dad selling t-shirts.
Right. And I loved how Jennifer Aniston cut that dude's underwear off, because she's like, are you wearing underwear? And he's like, I'm not gonna sweat my freeze my balls off for this. It was super fun. Okay. So they kick out Chris, right? And their new singer sucks.
Out of his own band.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And they kicked him out of his own band. He formed it.
Yeah, and I love how he came in and he's like, look, he brought us these new amps, and then he's like, did you see he brought his voice with him too, or whatever? Did you hear the voice he brought with him too? I was like, he's getting in some good digs on this asshole. And I did like how his girlfriend, like, she was all like, I love how they were like, you can still manage us, it's cool. And I'm all like, why would she want to manage you assholes? You just kicked your boyfriend out of your little shitty band. I'm like, come on.
Did they think she was a bigger person? I don't know.
That's the thing. I did like her line about how she's like, you follow the talent, and all the talent in this room just left and everything. I was like, oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. And then I did think it was kind of crappy how he was like, don't mock me. And she was like singing the song that he wrote when she was like 16. I was like, yeah, don't be like that. Girls are like that. They love that sappy shit. So I'm like, you could write of them a poem, and the poem could be all like roses are red, violets are blue. Now get my car, you stupid bitch. Like, and they'd be like, oh my God, that's so cute. I love it. And everything. Okay.
And they're 40 years old telling their kids, your dad wrote me the most romantic poem ever. I fell in love with him that moment.
You're right. So he gets a call from the Cuddy guy. I don't know, Kurt Cuddy. I wrote that down. Yep. And he goes and flies out to LA, right? And they meet Tanya. Tanya, is it? Tanya.
Tanya.
But I have to listen. Tanya is kind of a cunt, and she doesn't have one. So, because I liked it how they were like, we turned our first class seat into a two coach class. She'd say, how resourceful. And I was like, don't be a dick. And then I love how also she was like, oh,
yeah, I'm not sure you can do that anymore.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't. They're very they're fucking crazy at the airport, man. They'll break right? your luggage, and you'll be like, yeah, you guys broke my luggage. And they'll be like, that's that's
not true.
What?
I got my luggage broke and Delta replaced it on the spot. Like, I took it up to the little counter. The lady walked in a back room and came out with a brand new suitcase that was the same style. And she's like, will this one do? And I was like, yeah. She was like,
they just gave you something from the Lost and Found, honey.
No, so it had like the plastic wrap and the tags on it.
Okay.
I don't care. They gave me a free suitcase and it's lasted 4 years.
Right on.
So...
I did also like it when Tanya was all like, "Are those your breasts?" Well, whose breasts would they be, bitch? Even if she paid for them, they're still hers. Okay, but yeah, she's like, I think she's like, they're magnificent or whatever.
Jennifer Aniston was like, I can't remember.
Right? Yeah. I can't remember. And then I did like when the one guy came in that they were kicking out of the Steel Dragon band, the lead singer. And I love how he was just like, it's because I'm gay, isn't it? You're gay? Yeah. Do you think it's like Kim is a man? Yeah, Kim is a man. I love that old.
Did you think I got the nipple ring because it was cool? And
right?
Then he's all of a sudden like, shit, I got a nipple ring because you got a nipple ring.
Yeah, I shoved a needle, a non-sterile needle through my nipple because I wanted to be like you. And then I did like after the press conference, I did like he was like doing his little pussy eating monologue in the mirror. I like pussy. I eat tons of it, loads. I can't get enough of it. And then she's like, are you gonna sit in there and talk about it? Or are you gonna get in here and do it? And I was like, yeah, he's giving out free mustache.
Shut up or get in here and do it.
So Oh, I love the manager throughout this entire movie. What was
He
his
is
name?
honestly one of my favorite characters. He's probably my favorite.
Yeah, he is definitely. I love him because I love how he's all like, is that like his first concert? He's like, now you're okay, and I was like, you're just gonna tell him he's okay. You're not gonna ask him.
Can we talk about the first concert when he falls down the stairs?
Oh no, I do want to talk about. Hold on, I want to talk about this manager just a little bit more because he's like,
Okay.
now you're okay, and then he's like, break a leg, and I was like, oh, those words have never been truer.
I loved when he tells Jennifer Aniston, if you need anything, you let me know. Anything. It's all okay.
Yeah, it's
It's
all
all
okay.
okay now. It's
All okay.
okay now. Just let me know. I'll get it for you.
I did think that his backstory was a little sad, how he just like left his wife at a pub. And
Right?
I was like, what? What's going on
He
here? I'm glad you
just
didn't
up and
have.
said, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Never comes back.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I'm glad they didn't have kids because how would you explain that to your fucking kids? Okay, now let's talk about that first concert where he falls down the stairs. I love how he was all like, he did fix it real quick. He's like, you want blood? I was like, oh, it's so good that your song is called Blood Pollution. Cause
Right.
if it was called, flower mix, I don't know what you would have done then.
Right.
But when he fell down that stairs, my immediate reaction was you remember that time Beyonce fell down the stairs at a concert and she just started like head whipping to fix it. I was like, oh, this is not a good fix. I'm laughing.
See, you went with Beyonce. I went for Miss Congeniality when Sandra Bullock falls down the steps when she's dressed carrying her little New Jersey sign and her Statue of Liberty tour.
Yeah, no, so good.
Whatever.
I love when people fall downstairs. It's
It's
so
so
funny.
amazing.
It's so funny. And until it happens to you, then you're like, this shit ain't funny. I fucking hurt my
No,
shoulder.
I think that's why it's funny because I'm one of those people that falls going up the stairs.
Oh, right on.
So and I'm a nervous laugher. So when something makes me uncomfortable, I laugh.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Um, that after party after their first concert is so freaking crazy. Like I think they did everything under the sun that you could possibly do
yeah,
at a party. Like they did drugs, they banged a
they
trans
ended up
person.
in separate rooms.
They end up and say, yeah. And
Hers
yeah, they're just
was
like
two people,
making
his was 22 people.
right. And you know what gets me about that? They meet back at their room and they're just like okay with it. They're just like, okay, this weird thing happened, but we're good. We're good.
They both look at each other and they did that. Let's just pretend nothing happened. Nothing happened.
I'm gonna chalk it up to I'm not gonna lie, I think it was sexual assault because they gave them drugs. And I'm sorry, that's a no-go. You don't just do that to people. But at the same time, rock and roll, am I right, guys? Yeah. Oh, I love that he bought the Batmobile. I love that he bought the Batmobile and they
And he
raced
wears
it.
the mask.
Yeah, I loved it so much. Like I thought that was so great.
I was like, his 12-year-old self is in heaven right now.
Yeah, it was like so crazy that he sorry, I needed a
And he's
sip.
driving it around.
I would. It's fucking cool, man.
I
I'd
know,
drive it
but
around.
it's a collector's item and you get the little collector plates. I think you're only allowed to add so many miles a year to keep your collector status. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, listen, I don't know any of that either, but I thought it was cool.
And did he buy the real one or was it a remake?
I mean, who knows? Let's just say it's the real one because it was the 80s. Did they really make remakes back then? Are they called remakes? I don't know anything about cars. Anyways,
Reboot, remake.
yeah, he did a lot of well, as soon as he became famous, he did a lot of like kind of fun, but yet some shitty things. Like when he was throwing those quarters at those naked bitches, I was like, listen, don't get me wrong, that's funny, but that's kind of mean. Like, even though they're all like, oh my God, I love you, Izzy, and everything.
And
I'm all like,
I love how him and the band manager became like besties until he decided to dive into the debauchery and drugs and everything. He was just hanging out with the manager until then.
right. Um,
Can we talk about the furniture glued to the roof?
yeah,
That's
how?
my favorite of the whole hotel destroying scenes. I mean, the motorcycle through the doors was funny and all that, but the furniture was my favorite. But they were drunk or really high, either way. How? None of them are crazy tall.
Yeah, no, as soon as they happened, I was like, and you said super glue, but I was all like, did they nail those into the floor? I don't understand. Like, I listen, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a carpenter or anything like that, but I'm all like, when the nail go through the floor into the apartment, the hotel room above them, I'm all like,
well, I think the floor's thicker than the nail. I don't
oh,
know.
maybe I
I'm
don't
not.
know.
I'm not a builder person
We'll
either.
say it is a builder person. But I like the whole time I'm just like, how, and like you said, they're not tall. So how did they, and they had to hold that shit up for like, it's just, yeah, again,
Forever.
how
They use that Gorilla Kong super.
right? That shit is strong. It made that woman's hair stick to her head like hardcore.
So bad.
I
I
didn't
would
feel
like
bad.
tune in for updates
I
all
didn't
the
feel bad.
time.
She did that to herself.
She thought it was gel. Okay,
No,
she grabbed the
she did.
wrong tube.
She knew what it was. Stop. Okay. So he's so fucked up that when what's her face comes back, because she leaves and everything, which I'm sorry.
Emily.
Yeah, Emily. When Emily left, I knew they were breaking up. Like that was a breakup
Oh,
speech. They just didn't admit it to each other. And she went
you
to,
knew he was gonna just dive in full force into the rock
oh
star
yeah,
life.
men are weak sometimes, you know.
Well, when they're
You've just
having
got,
pussy thrown at them all the
oh, it's like left
time,
and right. Yeah. That the
they're
one guy.
literally passing out pussy passes.
Oh yeah, no, Vetta. Those were important people passes. very, very important people passes.
Very important pussy passes.
Personal friend passes. That's what they were.
Personal
There we go. Personal friend passes. But hey, if you wear a G-string, the guys respect you like way more.
And she's got to be to work by midnight, so she
Yeah,
really needs
she needs
this
to go first.
conversation to keep moving.
Yeah. Oh gosh, if I fuck Izzy, I'm gonna shit. I'm like, ew, you're gross. So I love how
she kept tapping Jennifer Aniston on the shoulder and was like, could you speed this up? I gotta be to work by midnight. My shift starts.
yeah, which would just be like, honey, read the room. Come on. Okay.
Apparently she really needed to shit. So.
I guess so. I loved how, do you think they fucked after that? Do you think he fucked her?
Oh, I think he just went back in the room. He was so wasted. I don't think it really phased him. I think the manager ushered him back in the room and ushered one or two girls in, and he just kept on going.
Right on. Do you okay, so I love that I love how he kept saying, I'm gonna go to Seattle. When she's like, you're in Seattle, Chris. And I'm all like, yeah, Chris, how much drugs have you taken today that you can't hear something and have it process? Like, yeah, you are all 10 shades of fucked up.
Oh, for sure.
I do have to say though, Mark Wahlberg in this movie is fit. I'll tell you that. That motherfucker's got abs and shit. I'm like, hello. I'm like jelly.
Right. He had more abs than you could count. Like,
right. Oh, and I love how when he went back after their little break and he was all like, he had his whole little like presentation with his little cassette tapes, which I was like, as soon as they popped those out, I was like, what are those? I haven't seen those in a while.
Right.
But I love how
do you remember the day when you would make mixed tapes on those
God.
of all your like a playlist?
Yeah, I love
kids
those.
That don't know, a playlist used to be a mixed tape.
Yeah, oh my God, I loved mixtapes. Like, cause you have to
have some.
Oh, I still have a couple of cassette tapes and everything. I don't know if they're mixtapes, but do you remember you'd have to sit and wait for the radio to play your song? And then like you'd get through the whole song except for the last like 20 seconds, and the fucker would come on and be like, all right, you guys. Yeah. That's his WWW. We just played, Never Gonna Give You Up. Oh, I'm never gonna give you up either. All right, for our next song. I'm like, you asshole.
Right. Or, leading into it, they're like, and we just want to thank our sponsors for all this. And that's like the intro to the song. And you're like, fuck off.
Yeah, it was one of those things that you had to like get at the perfect time. You're all like, yes, I got it, yes, and everything. But yeah, okay. I did like when Kurt Cuddy gave him his like He's like, and I do respect it. You want to do you do your own thing, but we're gonna do the steel dragon thing and everything. I love that.
I love it because he's so condescending. Like, we have been doing this for a while. You are new and we can replace you because we've done it before.
Right. And I don't understand Chris's whole thing because I would just ride that steel dragon money train to the bank.
Right.
Like, I get it, he was all fucked up all the time and everything, but me, I'd be like, just think about the money. The money is all about
Yeah.
it.
So, how long do you think, because of the whole time lapse and stuff, how long do you think he was a member of Still Dragon?
I'll say 5 years.
Yeah, I was like, it's got to be like that 5 to 7 time frame. Uh, but yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like, touring's where the money is. If they want to write the songs, then so be it. What do some of those artists do? Their little acoustic solo album. Do
Right.
one of those. And when it doesn't sell, then you'll see why. Like those
Yeah.
artists all do. That people don't want that shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's the yeah, exactly. So back to okay, so after this, I did want to talk about the manager's backstory because I wonder what he would have been like if he hadn't left, just went off into the great beyond of being a manager for Steel Dragon. And I loved how he was all like, yeah, she came to the concert one time, has 3 beautiful children, married my best friend. I'm like, you didn't talk to your best friend after that?
Right. He literally just got on that bus and never looked back.
Yeah, and I'm
never.
all like, how could you do that to somebody? Like, I don't think I could ever do that to anybody. That's so brutal. So
that
brutal.
means he, like, to wait until she comes to a concert to find that out. That means he never talked to family, friends, nobody. He literally left and never looked back.
Yeah, all because he thought his life was planned out. And I'm all like, what? Most people just bang younger girls or buy a sports car. You went and
my whole thing
you had a whole
is,
life.
Okay, yeah, we're okay. In the whole big scheme of things, the majority of people don't get their 15 minutes of fame or their lifetime of fame or whatever. But you have a good life and you love it, even if it's boring and normal. Do you really think of your life as boring and normal? I think I have a great life.
Right. Yeah. And I love how he was just like at the concert, he found that new kid to sing all of his songs. And he was all like, you want to finish his set? And he's like, and then he's all like, taking the night off. And he's like, I'm going to go take a piss. And then, like, in the interview later on, he's all like, he told me he had to take a piss. And I was just like, man, you are a man of very few words, but I like them. I'm gonna use that from now on. If I ever want to just leave something, I'm just like, I'm gonna go take a piss and then just leave.
I'm doing that at a next family event when I just want to leave and be like, I gotta go take a piss. I'm getting the car and going to the nearest bar, and I'm texting all of my siblings going, guys, I'm at the bar. I had to take a piss. Come join me.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that at work next time I get upset. I'm just like, I'm gonna go take a piss and then just leave and then be like, yeah, I went home. I wasn't feeling good. So, okay. So after he quits, what did you think of his new song after he gets back together with his old bandmate from the what was his cover band called? The Fuzzy Muzzles or something? I don't remember. It doesn't even matter. Anyways, what did you
Something weird. Yeah. Well,
what did you think of his new song?
I think that was predictable that they were going to get back together. Because when he was on
the band
TV,
member,
yeah, because when they were on TV, all the other band members were all like, but then when it panned to him, the guy you got into a fight with, he was all smirky, like, yeah. I go, as sad as it is, they spent so much time showing concert moments. They spent very little time at the end on the type of performer he is now. So
yeah, but what did you think about it? It was very smooth music and everything.
I go, he has the voice of an 80s hair band member.
Gotcha. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's not his forte. He is a
I didn't
artist.
Yeah, I didn't care for it. And I love how Jennifer Aniston walks in and he like walks up to her and he's like, hey,
walks off stage.
Hey. Yeah, he walks off stage.
I'm gonna go talk to her.
Yeah, like, yeah, what? But finish your fucking gig, dude. And then he's just like, hey, you look great. You look great. And then they kiss, like they make out like hardcore, they're like sucking face. And I'm like, is that all it took for you two to get back together? It was just to see each other. He's got a new do, which I didn't like either, and a fucking cardigan, and you're all, got your own business and a life. And I'm all like, what's going on here?
Did you ever have a relationship where you broke up with someone and if you saw them on the street, you would just say, hey, you look good. You look good, and
No,
start making out with them?
no, because I hate all the women that I used
Especially
to
when
date.
when you broke up with him or her and they had a line of dick or pussy down the hallway.
Exactly. Yeah. No, well, I never been in that situation because I'm enough for anybody. But if I did, no, because if they're an ex, they're an ex. I don't care how much you love them. I just we're not going to start making
Exactly.
out. But they got back together. Yay for them. I loved
Can
the
we
end.
talk about the credits
That's
clips?
exactly what I was going to say. I loved it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Bobby,
Yeah.
I love that Bobby's go-to after being in a big 80s hair band was to become an Irish dancer.
Yeah, I loved it. What are we saying to these kids? I also loved when he was all like, when you're going through war and you come out of the ashes and you stand up and you rise up and say, this is me, that is rock and roll. And then the other guy's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I love that part too. It's so good.
Right.
Yeah,
I
I loved all of
love
it. I did love all
I
of it.
loved the
And I love
end.
how Mark Wahlberg, he's like, yeah, I got long hair and I wear makeup. You want to get your ass kicked by a guy that probably wears more makeup than your mom? I'm like, no, I don't. Mhm.
I'm not into the getting my ass kicked,
Yeah, like,
so
yeah, at
no
all.
thank you.
Yeah, exactly,
No.
exactly. No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna pass.
Do you have anything else you want to say about this movie?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Vetta, would you recommend
Yes,
this movie? Would you
I
recommend
would.
this? Yeah, me too.
I would. I would. Like I said, it teeters. I said at the beginning it's okay. It teeters on that okay to good. It's not great. It's not, phenomenal, but
Oh,
it's
out of
definitely worth a view.
yeah, out
I
of
mean,
all
I
the
wasn't
movies,
upset I watched it a second time. So,
right on. Yeah, I think out of a lot of the movies we watched, this is probably one of the better ones. Ah, shit. Because some of them we watch, I'm like,
right.
this is a waste of time.
I literally go, that's hours of my life I'm never getting back.
Right.
Please
Okay.
don't let this make the cut reel of my
Right.
life flashing before my eyes.
Right. Okay. Why don't we go ahead and move on to our questions portion? What was your
Alrighty.
question for this movie?
So, my question is, what is your favorite movie about, fame, like becoming famous or fame in
I
general?
Well, I was looking, I Googled and everything because I was like, what should I pick? Because I really don't know. And I did have a list of movies, but I ended up picking Private Parts. Because I used to be a huge fan of Howard Stern before, now because he's all weird. But I used to be a huge fan and I love his rise to fame story. I just love how, through hard work and this fuck the system kind of attitude, but yet funny at the same time. I thought it was
Yeah.
I think it's a really great story, and I really like that movie a lot. I own it on DVD. But I love that
What's
movie,
that?
and well, exactly, it's a frisbee. But yeah, no, or a coaster. You can use them as coasters too. But yeah, no, I have to say that one. I really do like that movie a lot. It's super fun, and yeah. What about you?
I went with Almost Famous.
Oh my God, that was on my list. I love that movie.
See, I had a list too, and I debated, and I'm not gonna lie, my top two were complete polar opposites. Like I went with Almost Famous. My second was That Thing You Do with the one hit wonders type of
Oh,
situation.
the
But
O
I
Eaters.
yeah, the own eaters. Yes, I went with, and it was not a close second. When I say it was a second, it wasn't a close second. I went with Almost Famous because I was like, that is like every like rock star groupie whatever story. The only thing that's odd about that is the 15-year-old writing for Rolling Stones.
Right
So,
on. Yeah.
but I love that movie. That is
I
probably. I mean, I like Kate Hudson, but that was probably the first movie where I realized Yeah, I think Almost Famous was like the first movie that like introduced me to Kate Hudson. And then like as time went on, because of how much I liked her character in that movie, it kind of like made me watch more and more. I mean, she does a ton of great movies that I love. Some of them are really stupid, but they're really great. And some of them aren't that great, but
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
I
Nope, I
loved
agree.
Almost Famous, everything about it.
Yeah, me too. I love Almost Days. So good, so good. All right. What
What is your question?
my question, I was about to ask, what is your question, Vetta? But you
I
just
can
answered it.
tell.
Okay, so sorry, I've been drinking. Okay, blame it on the alcohol. Okay, so my question for you, Hooker, is what is your favorite Steel Dragon song in
We
this movie?
all die young.
Is it?
Yes.
I like that one, but it was a little too slow for me.
I love songs that start out slow and then have that big, like, what's it called? A
Yeah,
crescendo,
no, it
or in the EDM world, which I know you're not into, that when the bass drops, when there's
when the
that big
bass
drop,
drops.
and
Right
that's when
on.
the DJ goes, you know, 1, 2, 3, or they're like, whatever, everybody jump, whatever. I love songs like that.
What is, how does it go? Everybody jump. What? Everybody jump.
Songs like that. Like it starts out all slow, and then all of a sudden he's like,
That's so fun. I love that you said everybody jump.
I've been drinking. Okay.
That's not my world.
Is
Okay,
your
so
what's your favorite?
my
Is it
favorite
stand up?
it's stand up and shout. Yeah, I love. Well, it was gonna be blood pollution, but I was like, no, I like when he's like stand up and shout and everything. I
And he
really
does
like
that
that.
lean back
Yeah, I really
thing.
lean back.
I'm like, oh, I'm like, I'm so old that hurts my back, and I'm pretty sure I would fall over if I tried to do that. Ow.
Yeah, no, I did, right. No, I did love that song and everything. So that was my favorite song in there. All right. Is there anything else you want to say about this movie at all?
No, I'm good.
All right, great. Well, all right, well, let's just end this thing. Let's wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for listening to us. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at BS Drunk Pod to stay updated. If you listen to us on Apple Podcast or Spotify or anywhere where you get your podcast needs, please give us a 5-star review. We would really appreciate it. And you guys have zero idea how much it helps us out. It really does. You have no idea. We'll also be posting the video version of this to our YouTube channel, so make sure to check us out there. Our name there is BS Drunk Movie Reviews. And please don't forget to drink, recap, review, and repeat. Bye, you guys.
Bye.